Okay, so fun fact that not a lot of people know. The previous generation Fat Bob, the one with the twin pod headlight, was my first ever dream bike. Now, as a kid, like 8 to 9 years ago, I used to go through car and bike magazines but not read a lot of the specifications. I used to just look at the pictures, right? But the Fat Bob was the first ever bike that I completely read up on. The specs, the engine, I knew it all. So for me, the last generation Fat Bob holds a very, very important place. Speaking of which, we're back here at Two Rivers Harley Davidson to film the latest iteration of this beautiful and menacing bike, the 2021 Harley Davidson Fat Bob 114. The new Fat Bob is also a very important bike for Tanishq, who's one of the guys behind the camera right now. He is the biggest Fat Bob fan I know, so he was very, very excited for this shoot. Alright, so enough about the backstory. Let's start talking about the bike, and primarily let's start talking about how this bike looks, because that's the reason that so many people have fallen in love with the new Fat Bob. That new styling, that new age appeal without losing Harley's old world charm. That's what gets people loving this machine. It's a brutish, hunkered down cruiser with muscle in all the right places. The seat carries forward the visual flow of the tank nicely, and the raised pillion seat and hollow tail section of the bike create a very visually appealing profile. The gold exhaust pipes are a thing of beauty and give a wonderful but tasteful contrast to the body color of the bike, as are the huge double barrel exhaust units themselves. The fat tires give the Fat Bob an even more badass vibe, which is boosted even further by that fantastic rectangular headlight. This headlight is honestly the best design choice they could have made for this bike. It just works. It's given this Harley a futuristic Terminator vibe without compromising the old world Harley charm. I honestly think this is one of the best looking bikes currently on sale. Okay, so the last time we were here, we were filming the Pan America 1250 powered by the new Revolution Max engine. Now that is a departure from traditional Harley bikes. It's an adventure tourer. Harley is known for cruisers. The Fat Bob right here is the complete opposite of that. It's a total embodiment of what Harley Davidson as a brand stands for. It's the quintessential representation of what all of us know Harley Davidsons to be. Muscular, pure American, and extremely likable cruisers. The Fat Bob is powered by Harley Davidson's 1868cc Milwaukee 8114 V-twin, which churns out 93 horsepower and 155 Newton meters of torque. Okay, now I know I said that these gold pipes are one of the most striking visual elements on the Fat Bob. But what's even more interesting is what those gold pipes are part of. And that is one of the most soulful exhaust systems I've come across in a very long time. Now, Harleys have great exhaust notes, we know that. Thunderous soundtracks. And the Fat Bob in that aspect does not disappoint. You know what? Take a listen and see for yourself. Okay, so the thing is, we can talk about specs all day. How big the tires are, how big the brakes are, how much fuel the tank can hold. We can do that for a very long time. But Harley Davidsons are more than that. In fact, all bikes are more than that. The specs are only a fraction of the story. And I can safely tell you that even with this short time that the three of us have had with this 2021 Fat Bob, this bike is invoking a sense of desire in me and the other two guys that very few other bikes have done. I mean, we like a lot of bikes, but we don't want quite as many of them. And the Fat Bob is doing just that. Okay, so if you're a cruiser fan, or even more than that, if you're a Harley Davidson fan, which I know quite a lot of you watching will probably be, you'll find yourself wanting, no, that's not quite the right word. You'll find yourself needing this bike very, very desperately indeed, especially after you've seen it in the flesh, when you've heard the soundtrack. Maybe if you've had a test ride, you will need this bike in your life. I can see Tanishq smiling behind the camera right there. Take my word for it. All three of us are really happy with this bike. We love it a lot. And I know this is gonna sound a bit biased. We haven't done a full review yet. This is just a short walk around and first impressions video. But even in those first impressions, this bike has made a damn good one. And first impressions, as we know, are important. And the Fat Bob 114 has aced it completely. Okay, so prices for the 2021 Fat Bob start at 16,75,000 rupees ex-showroom. But as you will know, Harley Davidsons are all about personalization, making it your own bike. So by the time you're done speccing your bike with custom genuine Harley Davidson parts, custom paint if you want that, so you'll probably want to make it as special for yourself as you want. So by the time you're done with that, it will end up costing quite a bit more than that depending on how you spec it. Huge thanks to Two Rivers Harley Davidson for letting us film this beautiful Fat Bob. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get it for a full review soon. So if you're looking forward to that, then do subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Hit the bell icon, and if you enjoyed this video, leave it a thumbs up and let us know down in the comments what you think of this beautiful machine. Ride safe.